First, going to check in with Crystal Moyer. Crystal, they've righted that vehicle that had been on its roof. They're in the process of clearing the road, but there's still delays.
The wreckers got there pretty quickly. We're used to seeing them out there for some time trying to get everything in order, especially when there's injuries involved in a vehicle overturned. So taking a look at the map here, crashes at I-295 northbound just before you hit Pulaski Road. The left lane does remain blocked, causing some major delays all the way down to Heckscher Drive. So heading northbound, you're only moving about 4 miles per hour. Southbound, we're seeing some onlooker delays, traffic moving around 13 miles per hour. You need to head out the door at least 20 minutes early. Here's a look at the scene right now. You can see that SUV that was overturned is now on the tow truck. They're in the works of getting all the debris out of the way so that they can reopen the left lane. You can see some investigators here with JSO on the scene, as well as the road rangers trying to get everything in order. Those cones still blocking the left lane and part of that right lane. So you will have to get into that right shoulder a little bit to get by, and just make sure you use plenty of caution as you're traveling through. There will be some debris on the road. They may be out there for some time. Right now, it's going to be a 26-minute ride along I-295 northbound between Heckscher and I-95. Fog, still a big issue out there. Just make sure you low beam it up. I'm just going to leave you with this with the DOT camera. I saw the sign. I opened up my eyes and saw the sign. If you want a free car wash, there you go. Southside area, I-95 just south of Butler Boulevard. It's coming down out there right now, which means a lot of slick roadways. We do have some of the standing water in many of our areas, especially along the East Beltway, I-295, also getting some of those showers right now. But a lot of vehicles just flying through that standing water. Not a good idea, folks. You want to slow down, move over to the left. They do have those cones out there right now until the water recedes. So just keep that in mind as you're passing through 295 and Blanding. Fortunately, as you're driving through, people see the flashing lights, they pump on their brakes, backs up traffic. We all know the story. So you'll be moving around 34 miles per hour. The bridge is obviously going to be some issues with visibility. You can see here with the Dames Point Bridge north and southbound, you could barely see. So a good idea is to stick to the right or left-hand lane so that you can see the lines to keep you in your correct lane. Hopefully things are going to clear up just a little bit once we hit 8:30. And on the Buckman, almost 10 minutes southbound to get across the bridge because of those delays. And here's what it looks like right now with the DOT cameras live. It is a tight squeeze out there all the way down southbound over to San Jose Boulevard, so allow plenty of time. All lanes right now temporarily blocked. I-295 southbound just north of Heckscher Drive as those vehicles are removed off of the roadway from that crash. It looks like the final vehicle is making its way off to the right-hand shoulder, and then traffic will be able to continue. So you will need to allow plenty of time for traffic recovery when this crash is completely cleared. I'll keep you updated on that. Some down power lines over near the Lakewood area, Cornell Road at Tulane Avenue. You want to use plenty of caution. This may partially be blocking one of those lanes, which means you'll need to get around it. Don't touch any power lines that you may see on the ground because it could be live and could hurt you. Just now, we saw traffic is able to get around there on Owen Avenue and Moncrief Road. There are some roadblocks. You saw that vehicle and the bus still in the roadway. You need to take an alternate route so they can continue clearing that scene, getting the debris out of the roadway, and of course to keep those troopers safe that are at the scene of that crash. So as you're traveling on Moncrief Road, get off at Cleveland Road, take that southbound, and then use Edgewood Avenue to access Rains High School from the east side of the high school. A peek out there with the DOT camera, I-95 at the Acosta Bridge. Things are looking pretty good. And the reason why I'm showing you the Acosta Bridge is because the Main Street Bridge is going to be closed starting tonight, 6:30 p.m. through Sunday at 6 a.m. Getting a little bit of TLC, some maintenance and mechanical improvements there. So you're going to have to detour using the Acosta Bridge. It's not going to affect you if you're planning to tailgate for the Jags game. That was your Keith Pearson Toyota Time Saver Traffic. Still following a major crash out there northwest Jacksonville, I-95 heading southbound. This is at Lem Turner Road. This crash does involve injuries, slowing down traffic here. You can see the tanker involved in this crash. We had our reporter Ashley Harding out there earlier this morning. It is still just pouring out there. Traffic only able to squeeze by that right lane, which means you might want to think about an alternate route before you head out. And Main Street looks like a good way to go. You can get onto Main Street, Heckscher Drive, take that southbound and get back onto I-95 using MLK Parkway. Right now, traffic along I-95 after the Trout River moving only 7 miles per hour. Mandarin, I-295 southbound at San Jose Boulevard, still a disabled semi out there. We have a good view with the DOT cameras. Not only is there some dense fog out there, but also that big old semi there blocking the right lane, causing traffic to move over into the left lanes. With that heavy fog, you've just got to be careful and use a lot of caution because people are trying to switch lanes at the last minute as they're coming up to where that truck is. Over in Mandarin, like I was just talking about, some heavy delays heading southbound, and this is all the way from Roosevelt Boulevard down to San Jose because there was a crash there involving injuries. Let's get to some of those speeds first. Once you get near San Jose Boulevard, 12 miles per hour on the Buckman Bridge heading southbound, 15 miles per hour. And this is why, because there was a crash involving injuries that's blocking 2 left lanes, which means traffic only able to get by using the 1 right lane. So this is what it looks like on the scene. You can see a lot of those flashing lights off in the distance. They're trying to get all the vehicles off to the right and left-hand shoulder. So you want to give them plenty of space and slow down as you pass through that area. There may be some debris or even some of those troopers or officers walking throughout the area trying to clear that crash barriers out there on the First Coast Expressway. So until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, you will have to take a detour as you're traveling south on State Road 23. You're going to have to get off at Oakleaf Plantation Parkway and take that all the way down south, and that's just past Publix. So again, all north-southbound lanes of State Road 23 expected to close until 5 a.m. tomorrow, so you can expect some delays. That was your Keith Pearson Toyota Time Saver Traffic. Jen. I'll get to some of those delays in just a moment, but there is a crash being worked right now on the north side. This is I-295 southbound, just south of Pulaski Road. The right shoulder is blocked right now, and I do see traffic picking up just a little bit because they're slowing down. Of course you should, but you also want to move over to the left-hand lanes. As you can see, the FHP as well as those vehicles involved in the crash is off to the right-hand shoulder. Although it's not blocking any lanes, you got to move over, give them plenty of space because they may be walking around pretty close to where that right lane is. So just do that. It is the law lane and through the right shoulder. So not seeing anyone out there directing traffic just yet. Everyone's kind of confused on where to go. What you need to do is give those troopers plenty of space. Those first responders on the scene, there could be some injuries involved in that crash. So you need to go ahead and shift over to that right-hand shoulder. Give them some space as you try to get back into those left lanes. So again, I-295 northbound, Pulaski Road, they'll be out there for some time. It appears that the vehicle is overturned. A lot of flashing lights. We have people walking around. It's just causing some confusion for those drivers. So just make sure you move over and slow down. There's still a deadly crash that's being worked right now, Normandy Boulevard at Parish Cemetery Road. That's just east of Chafee Road. All eastbound lanes are blocked right now. FHP is telling us that a pedestrian was struck by 2 separate vehicles. Unfortunately, that pedestrian has died, so they may be investigating for some time. Some alternate routes that you can take is heading northbound on Chafee Road, I-10 eastbound, or if you want to use head south on Chafee Road, take 103rd Street eastbound over to I-295. That'll connect back to Normandy Boulevard, get you back on your way. So just allow plenty of time there.